is the BJP diluting the real estate bill to help the developers as Rahul Gandhi suggests, or is Rahul just trying to tap into the urban home buyer anguish? I want to go across now to Babul Supriya. He's the Minister of State for Urban Development. He's joining us on this broadcast, and with me is Amolok Nath Saigal. He's a member of the NCR Home Buyers Association, and he's one of the people. How long has your house been stuck, Amolok?
So 2009 is when we booked.
So you've now had to wait for 5 years for your house. When were you supposed to get this house?
So the first house which was sold to the association was supposed to come somewhere in 2012.
So it's already been 3 years. Okay, Babul Supriya, we've got an anguished home buyer with us, and the charge that's being leveled against your party, sir, is that you are tweaking the real estate bill to try and make it easier for big builders. Now, one of the big charges, one of the big reasons why this is being said is that the new bill mandates that builders deposit only 50% of the money collected from buyers in a separate account, as opposed to 70% which was there in the UPA bill. Now, the reason that it was 70% was to ensure that builders didn't divert that fund for any other purpose, that the fund which was collected from people like Amolok was used for the house that was supposed to be constructed for them. Why are you diluting the bill that's been made by the UPA, sir?
See, if you see the first of all, let me tell you one thing, that I have been a home buyer myself. We have all been home buyers ourselves in our real life, right? So we know that there are several aspects that delays the possession that a buyer gets of the flat. I can hear the gentleman saying he's going to take him along. He's waiting since 2009. I am very sure that everything that the builder must be playing some kind of foul play, but that need not be connected with the amendments in the bill. So let me address the question that you have asked me. I empathize with him, but it may not be entirely connected with, with the bill and the amendments we have brought.
That's what Rahul Gandhi says the Congress was trying to fix. They were trying to make a bill which would be tough on builders, so they couldn't con people like Amolok, and that's what you're now trying to change. And that's the question I'm asking you, Minister.
Rahul, I understand the question. That's what I'm saying. See, I don't want to give much importance to the Rahul Gandhi thing, because coming on Bollywood, I can just tell you one thing, that I've seen actors travel the entire country after having shot their last song in a foreign locale, which he has done probably for the last 2 months, and suddenly comes back and it's like promoting a film. An actor, he's the poster boy of Congress, going to every part of the city. I'll ask him. I don't want to give him any importance. Let me answer the question. I'm sure the buyer is more interested to know that. See, if you see the provisions of the clause 4(2) ID of the bill, you will see that though the 70% amount is collected from allottees that has been deposited, it also provides that the state governments can, they can actually reduce the amount even more further. Now, it was there in the original bill. It's not something that we have added. What happens is, we have to understand that it is a two-way process. The promoter has already paid for the land, he has bought the land, and he has also incurred a lot of money for seeking the approvals and all of that. If we scare the builders away, the country or the housing dream that our Prime Minister is talking about for the Housing for All 2022 is not going to go any forward. And if you provide for a higher threshold for deposit, what will happen is they are going to ask for more cash in the entire buying procedure, and that will only invite more cash into this already polluted sector.
Easier for builders, so that builders don't take customers for a ride.
No.
He's also calling Rahul Gandhi a Bollywood item boy. I'm coming back to you, Minister, in just a moment. He's calling Rahul Gandhi a Bollywood
I did not call him item boy.
Rahul, into this crisis. He's not genuine, he says.
No, I did not said the word item boy.
Minister, I'm coming back to you in just a moment. I have lots of more questions. I'm coming back in a moment. So, did you feel he was sincere and genuine, or as Babul Supriya says, he came across as a Bollywood item boy?
So from 2009 onwards, we've been agitating.
Rahul, I did not use the word item boy.
We've been trying to block roads. We've been trying to do anything which is very un-middle class like. We've been missing offices, missing family days, missing spending time with families. Now, all of a sudden, there's a ray of hope for us, because with Mr. Rahul Gandhi taking up our stuff or our points, what happens is at least the media is listening, and perhaps the builders are going to get scared. My point is, he If he's saying he's not sincere, he did not come across as very insincere to me. He seemed to know what the bill was about, so he has probably done his homework, or somebody has given him his points. I don't know what goes in his mind. But as a layman,
he came across as sincere.
He came across as sincere.
So first and foremost, the people who met Rahul Gandhi say that he is a ray of hope for them. And secondly, I want you to respond, Minister, to the most substantial charge that the original bill had a clause which made it mandatory for the promoter to disclose the number of buyers and the apartments book in every project where bulk purchases were blocked. Now you've taken that clause out as well, which means builders can now create an artificial scarcity through their sister companies, which will benefit black money transactions. The Congress says we were pushing for transparency. You are trying to act against it. Why, Minister?
Will I get that much time,
Yes,
Rahul, to answer my question?
of course you will, sir.
See, this is the Congress, Rahul Gandhi, God knows what homework he has done, but what he's doing is he cannot convince the people that what the new amendments brings to the housing sector in terms of ray of hope is wrong, and therefore what he's doing is he's just confusing, and he's selectively reading that word, bulk purchases. Let me tell you, the original bill, it left the bulk purchase of that particular term or phrase within the word promoter without defining it. So what we have done, we have defined that bulk purchaser thing. Any person who has bought more than 2 apartments in a project for selling in the bill. And that ensures that the front of the sister company cannot be created by promoters who can buy these flats for investment purposes and just create that ambiguous thing. Artificial scarcity is going to be reduced by that, and prices will come down. So the word bulk purchase is being used, it's particularly singled out without understanding the implication of it, just to confuse people. And that is exactly what we think is
so
absolutely
one of the other provisions of the UPA bill was that builders who would default a second time would be blacklisted. Now you've taken that criteria away. Now I myself am a victim like Amolak, because the house that I was supposed to get was supposed to be ready 3 years ago. It still isn't ready, right? That's an irony. But it's not about me right now. But I want you to talk about why builders who delay these houses shouldn't be blacklisted, Minister.
You know what? This is one more lie. That particular blacklisting promoters. I have the facts in front of me. The blacklisting promoter from doing business after 2 defaults. That provision was not even there. So there is no question, it was suggested by the standing committee of the parliament that it be included. So that provision was never there. So we taking it away does not even arise. Please go through the previous bill and go through the present bill. That provision was not even there. And this is exactly where it is hurting, because suddenly this man, after coming back from a holiday, of eloping from the country for 2 months, he suddenly comes back and then has taken a special interest in confusing people. If you take the facts to the people, you can always have a debate. But what do you debate with a guy who's not even putting the facts correctly?
And that's the reason why we're having this discussion. That's the reason we're having this debate. Amolak,
yes,
the minister says Rahul Gandhi's come back from a long holiday. Suddenly he wants to show he means business, which is why he's trying to jump onto your bandwagon. Is that the feeling you get as well?
Highlight what I'm saying. Highlight what I'm saying.
True, we're doing both. Quickly, final comments.
I don't think so he's jumping on it. This bandwagon has been there for a very long time. If he's jumping it now. We had gone to BJP also.
They didn't do anything?
Well, they called the cops.
They called the cops against you?
They called the
Who
cops.
Called the cops against you?
We had gone to BJP office to meet up with the bearers office in Delhi, and the cops were called.
Against you guys. Okay,
yes.
Minister, final words. I'm out of time on this broadcast. A home buyer says, at least Rahul Gandhi is listening to them. You aren't even paying attention. He says when they went to meet BJP office, where all the cops were called against them. Final words, Minister.
Rahul, let me tell you one thing. I don't know under what circumstances the cops are called. Let me answer the question which is going to pacify the bias. The amendment approved by the Union Cabinet has proposed to include existing projects as well as commercial projects within the ambit of the bill. The UPA bill did not provide for millions of home buyers who have already invested in real estates. It only provided for future projects. So I think the gentleman who's there in your show, the new amendment in the bill is going to provide for all existing customers who have already invested and not for future projects.
No,
so
but
there are several things in the bill which they should read.
I'm out of time on this broadcast, Minister. But here's a piece of unsolicited advice. Like Rahul Gandhi met with all the buyers, I think you should also sit with the buyers. Speak to them. You're making some clarifications, important clarifications. You should sit with them, speak to them, explain your bill. I think that is important. For the time being, we're out of time.
I would like to say one thing.
Yes.
There is a Department of Public Grievance.
Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, I'm
Can I
I'm out of time.
Say one last thing.
So I would like to tell him something.
Quickly, 20 seconds.
So, see,
the bill,
Department of Public Grievance is with the central government. 350 complaints exist from my association there.
They need to deal with those.
You know what they said?
Go
to SIDA.
Okay,
They said
I'm going to set up a meeting. Minister promised me we'll set up a meeting for Amulok. He'll come and meet you tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm going to set that up because I'm out of time over here. Thank you very much. I'll give you the minister's contacts after this broadcast. We'll set up a meeting. He's promised to meet you tomorrow. Sure.